That's a fact. That's Lawrence.
No more room in hell. The dead will walk here.
What's up, Horror Feeds? It's your boy, Ricky Grimes. I'm back. We all cheer for big bottles of beer. Thank you for joining us. Three Corners of Horror, Horror Fiend TV. Back with my two brothers. What's up, JR? You go first. How are you, bro?
First watch, film called The Possessor. Did it leave me in a different state, or did I wish I was like her, still sleeping?
Oh shit, Joe, the psychologist. What's good, brother?
What's good? I'm excited to talk about this because I have been mentioning it for a while. So, good thing that it's January, so there's not a whole lot in the beginning so far, so we can throw this in here right now. But this movie, for me, I was possessed.
We figured it'll be a great idea to cover Brandon Cronenberg's second film, not Antiviral. We're talking about Possessor, starring Andrea Riseborough as Voss, Christopher Abbott as Colin, and Jennifer Jason Leigh as Girder. All right, guys, let's start this one right now. Joe, I'm going to throw it to you first since you're the one that brought it to my attention. What you think, brother?
All right, so I'm going to say that I texted you the first time I saw this. Do not watch this movie under the influence of alcohol, because by the time you're done, you're going, what the fuck did I just watch?
Watch it sober.
Yeah, you have to watch it. Oh, you can smoke. But I've watched this movie 4 times, and I fucking finally got it. I love it. It's probably something that might have been done before. I just appreciated the way that it was done. I thought the cast itself was great. Tasia, like, she completely played, because when she took over other people, the person she took over was differently. But when you saw the person that was taking over, it's a person who's haggard, who, like, what she's doing is taking a toll on her. And you saw the toll it took on her family. Haggard is a great word because literally she showed up a lot of times and you saw her.
Sickly and pale and eyes sunken in, white hair.
JR is a cinematographer. So I'm sure that he's going to mention a couple things about the shots in this movie. Like, there's one thing about this movie, there's a lot of amazing shots. I can even say in the beginning when you see that she walks out of the building and then you from above, I told Adam, I'm like, you realize how much went into filming a shot of her just walking this way, and it was beautiful. Not many horror movies have beautifully shot cinematography, so this was a great combination of both.
Yeah, what you think?
Sean Bean, can the guy fucking break, man? Jesus Christ! Now I know Sean Bean, even though when I watched this film, he shows up somewhere at the end, which I thought but that left me a little messed up because I was like, did he live? But
he survived, huh?
Yeah.
How did he survive that?
Hell, man. But yeah, it figures out of all the movie he dies, the most brutal way he's going, he lives. But anyways, yes, this movie, I'll be honest, it had lulls for me, which I'll talk about later on, because you do get sucked in with the cinematography. Now, you say she looked haggard. For me, I thought she looked like an addict because she was addicted to what she was doing. Mm-hmm. So therefore, she needed it more and more and more and more, because it's almost like she had to separate herself from her real life to live this imaginary life. Mm-hmm. So I took her more as a drug addict.
Good shout.
And yes, cinematography was great. There were scenes where you get the whole transition of the possessor meeting the possessed, and they're intertwining in this dream state at the same time. And there's a cool twist towards the end, how there's a struggle between the both of who's taking over who. But yeah, it's a different type of film. I be honest, it's not going to be for everybody.
It's not,
because of the lulls and the way the movie's represented. But yeah, it was the first time I watched it, and I got a couple questions on it. I got a couple things that I liked and disliked, but this definitely was an interesting film.
Yeah, you said it. It ain't for everyone. This film here, it took me 2 tries to get it everything, and I don't know everything so far. I'm glad Joe saw it multiple times, so he's gonna include us in there. But yeah, yeah, absolutely. You guys, both of you guys said it. Like she's really her appearance. And mind you, oh, this is also the same actress. If you've seen Mandy with Nicolas Cage, she's Mandy, which blew my mind.
Yep.
Yeah, so great job. All the actors, the three mains in this film were excellent, I believe. The cinematography, like you said, there's a lot of impressionism in this film as well. And I just love the fact that the way her psyche, like everything, if you notice in the beginning when she's taking over Holly, she looks at the waterfront, the water's running backwards. And then there's a lot of things not making sense because she's already starting to lose control because she's doing it so much. And Gerder even said it, are you okay? You're going to see anomalies if you're going to be taking it too far. And that's why when you see Colin's character, he keeps seeing those little like weird blobs and shit. That's giving you the hint that all right, this is starting to take its toll. So a lot of little things like that is gonna go over your head, but I think it's amazing. So Voss, when she goes home to go to her husband and her son after the Holly incident, she doesn't even know like how to be herself anymore. She's repeating words, how to get the the correct, her cadence right, and how if she's gonna act like as herself or her prior, people that she mind controlled as assassination jobs. It's great. I love that. And the fact that she goes in there and her life is so boring. She's not interested in her husband. She's not interested like in the chit chat when they got friends come over. And it's funny, she's eating the apple, and later on you see Colin eating the apple. So yeah, cutting it the same way.
But that's it's literally how you know that she's assimilated.
Yep.
The
movie's full of stuff, though, Joe.
This
movie, if you see it multiple times, I bet you I could catch even more. But things like that are littered everywhere throughout this film.
She's not paying attention.
Yeah, and this movie's fucking violent. The violence, if you watch the streaming version, which I watch, it's the R-rated version, but there's a physical version that's uncut. I haven't seen it, but I did a little bit of research, and it's a little bit longer, not by much, but what it is, they add more violence in it. And there's a lot of more penis shots, if that's your thing. JR, the murders in this film, anything stuck out to you as like exciting to you, or is this like been there, done that? Like, what do you think about the murders in this film?
I think some of them were, how to put it, a little over the top. Were like when the first kill, the repeated stabbing over and over again. I mean, I thought that was a little bit much. The one kill that I found interesting was when Colin went to her house and basically attacked the husband and cut his hand off and his freaking.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, no, last year, right? Last year,
on the ground twitching. That was cool. Yeah, I think like some of the scenes were like just see before. Like the stabbing one was the one that one being the first kill, I was not interested in it. I was like, all right, enough's enough. I mean, you fucking stabbed him over 50 times and shit. You're still going. But that was, I think, her basically the addiction she had, that she loved the violence. So that was her just basically repeatedly doing it because
that's why she touched the blood too.
Yeah, that was her go-to. That was her basic escape from everything. And I mean, when she killed the little boy, that was crazy. Now I know you're. What?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh. You're next, John. Over.
What you talking about the boy?
Go.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when the boy gets killed, I mean, shot to the head, shot to the chest, 2 shots. I was like, oh, all right, that's crazy. That was something you rarely see that much violence on a child. The fact that they showed it to the point where you see the hole in the back of his head. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it kind of gave you the notion that she finally ended her attachment to the real world because she wiped out the family. But that was it. It definitely was an interesting one.
How about you, Joe? Now, Joe, I know you're a gore fiend like me, brother.
All right. So the word even when I rewatched it again with Adam, because he forgot that we watched this, and when I told him, I'm like, hey, we're gonna redo this. Oh, actually, not redo. I'm going to redo this movie again 5 times. When you're watching a Cronenberg film, you're watching something that actually involves your brain and your attention being involved. The word I used for the kills in this was visceral. Visceral
Ooh, I
is
like
the
that.
word that I used for it.
That's good.
So the thing is, the instructions that Girder had given were guns, and Tasia used weapons of knives. And sometimes when it comes involving a woman, because it's knife, it's more emotional. So maybe like because that boring life that she lived, this is just how she just let out that frustration, and that she's doing this job, but she never listened because I think 2 jobs. Both times she was supposed to use a gun, and both times she did not use a gun. She used a weapon with a blade. But the like you said, it was enough for you when she's going in, whereas I looked at it where it was a lot of pent up frustration being let out on a not the right person, basically, but there was something that was going mentally wrong with Tasia, and that's why she went for just being more with the hand and getting in there and actually just the gun is 1, 2, 3, you're done. With a knife or an axe, it's different. Not an axe. What did she use? A butcher. What was that called?
Hatchet. Wait, what? What? What?
Junior, when
The stick knife, right?
no,
No,
when
it was like a little.
when Colin showed up, it's in some people have them. I don't have mine. Cleaver. It's a butcher. Anyway, yeah, the kills like. I love to stare into movies when things are going on, but when she fucking stuck the poker in his eye, I turned away. I didn't look when she.
By the way, that is in the uncut version. That goes all the way. That scene.
Oh, well, I think what was the version that's available that.
Well, it stabs him, but they don't see him
Well, they
pull it out.
show. I see the eye coming out when they.
Yeah,
the
like
version
it
I
really
see.
goes all the way out, and you see him like.
Yeah, like that. Like I just thought that like that there was he brought out Cronenberg brought out in the actors a lot of intensities in the kills they did from Abbott and Tasia, not Abbott, Tasia, Risenborough. Like they're acting in those scenes when they're killing somebody. Dude, he brought the like they brought the intensity.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
those scenes where you're watching it and you can actually sit there and be like, "Ooh, ouch." Like you can feel those stabs going into you.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the kill scenes in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, I did. I mean, it was like, it was Joe. I kind of found it the same as you with the stabbing, where not at first, but after seeing it a couple times, you get to know Voss as her motivations and what's driving this character. And yes, it's all that frustration, and she's just going boom, boom, letting it out. And then it's blood, like GR mentioned, she's got this. She's addicted. Like when she's with her husband, and they're trying to have sex, and she keeps thinking about the stabbing, and that's what gets her turned on. And then later on, when she sees her husband come into the kitchen, when she's telling him, "I got to go back out," she sees the blood dripping down his neck again. So it's all the violence in it. It ain't gratuitous, I don't think. I
No.
think it's warranted. I mean, some of the stuff like Rita, I believe her name was, the one from the shower, was killed like off screen, and so was the other dweeb who fucking the other guy he used to work with. So they don't. It ain't like it's not a splatterfest, but what's there is really well handled, and it's visceral.
Visceral. I mean,
Good call.
again, when that poker went in the eye, if you saw this movie, some people might have been like, "Ooh, wow." Me,
But again,
I'm like, ow.
but again, it's a Cronenberg film, and what
Well,
is Cronenberg known for?
Body horror.
Body horror. Let's talk about this, because this film it is body horror. I mean, oh man, especially like when JR had mentioned it, when they go into like the surrealness of it, and they're showing you how like the two minds are battling each other. That like the way one is melting away and it's like forming into the other, and especially like when he rips her face and it pulls it off and puts the mask on, like I love stuff like that, and again, it's well handled in this film. Joe, like, what's your take on body horror? 'Cause I know you are a body horror guy for sure. How was it handled in this film, and what's your thoughts on it as a whole, man?
I mean, honestly, this movie has all of. He came from David Cronenberg, so he has already the mentality.
For the fans who don't know, name some David Cronenberg joints.
All right, so David Cronenberg, watch out for this. Some of the movies that fucked me up. He did The Fly. If you did not watch The Fly remake, there is actually, I'm gonna leave it. No,
Videodrome, scanners. I mean, this has been around for a while. Yeah. For some of us, Junior, you should remember this movie. I mean, 1985's Reanimator. I mean, but body horror has been around for a while. These new movies, especially Brandon, is putting the artistic in it. David put the artistic in it, but fucking Brandon is like high defing. Literally, that's what he did. He is high defing with his fuking father. Yeah, this is say high defing.
Well, that's the only word that came up. But like I said, this has been around for a while. It's meant to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's for.
Literally, man. It's what it's meant to do.
And everyone relates to it because we're all afraid of what could happen to our bodies,
Yes.
If your body betrays you, it's
this isn't like, Jason or Michael type of kills. The kills that are done in body horror are stuff that can actually literally can actually happen. Like when you sing it.
Well,
like,
not everything. Look at Videodrome.
Well, no, Videodrome's a little bit different. But I'm just saying, like,
I'm fucking with you. I don't know.
I love body horror. Only because like for me, horror is meant to make me feel uncomfortable and scared. So that's why I love body horror.
How about you, JR? That's the only thing we don't really talk about, me and you. What's your stand on it?
I mean, it depends. Like for me, when I think body horror, the first thing I know, this is a controversial movie, but I always think of Martyrs. What's done to the human body in order to achieve this next level, which you could kind of compare to this movie in the same way, because she inflicts so much pain and punishment because she wants to reach that level where her addiction is basically satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
So every time she comes out, she has to go back in. When she comes out, she can't relate to that world. So she has to go into this imaginary world in a way, because she's controlling somebody else's life. So it's not her life anymore. And the thing is, when she went into Colin's life, she kind of enjoyed his life a little bit, because she
did.
I mean, she enjoyed the sex she was having. Obviously, she was getting at home. I mean, there was a lot of things she enjoyed.
Ava was hot too.
Oh yeah, she enjoyed living a certain lifestyle at the same time, being the person with power. So I kind of did compare it a little bit to Martyrs in the fact that, because Martyrs is a movie where they do so much to the human body to try to get you to this next level, this next mind state, that you do turn away from that movie too. And Joe, you still got to do that one.
It might. I still not watched it. I still have not watched it, but the minute I probably watch it, it might just pop on.
Wait. Hold on. If you're thinking about movies that fucked me up, don't even watch it. Or no, yes, watch it, but pencil it in, because you're gonna do it. Trust me.
You will do it.
I couldn't finish that movie, bro.
You will. I watched that whole thing.
There's many movies I see every film through, even if I don't like it. But this one, it's not that it was a horrible film, but the violence
is
that's perpetrated onto the victims, I couldn't get into. But it fucked me up. So if it fucked me up, you're all in.
All right, body horror is one of those things that has to be done right. If it's done just to do it, then there's no point of it. Like this one, it did a good job doing it because it elevated to the point where you saw the struggle between her, who was a dominant character, able to take over a body, let it do whatever it wants, and basically disconnect herself to the point where she couldn't. She didn't want to disconnect herself. She actually wanted to live the life to the point where she used the person she connected with to end her real life, as far as all the attachments go. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting concept, but it has to be done right. If it's done just to do it, then you know what, there's no need for it. But if it's done and it has an attachment to the storyline and there's a reason for it, yeah, body horror is definitely something that should be done more, but should be done right.
Right.
And it's scary that this kind of thing could happen with technology if it keeps going the way we're going. A little implant that gets put into you that someone else can hop into your mind and take over you and essentially turn you into an assassin. Like, that is something to really think about. And if you're gonna, I just did Horror Fiend Driving Theater with The Thing. That's a form of body horror. It just the gruesome imagery in this film, like the contorted faces and the stretchiness, and just the not just humans, but in that film, just the animals or even the alien life forms from across the universe, just fucked up because of this one organism. It's incredible. So body horror, if done right, it's great. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it makes you uncomfortable. And when I watch films, I don't like to be uncomfortable. It has to be done like The Thing, The Fly, Videodrome, which was more, campy, and Possessor.
Tusk. That's JR's recommendation. That's fucking body horror.
That's body horror.
Your fucking entire body got turned into a walrus fucking body.
Closing thoughts. Let's rush into this. JR, I'm going to start with you. Closing thoughts. Anything else you want to add and give us your final score, or anything else you want to just, throw in there?
Well, I'll be honest. I was torn on this movie because it had a good premise. It had good scenes in it. There were a lot of lulls in it. The lulls, I feel, take away from it.
Yeah.
To the point where you could have maybe condensed it a little bit more, because I think it's an hour and 42 minutes. So you could have probably trimmed it to 12 minutes and tightened up a little bit with subtracting some of the lulls. The scenes were great. I mean, Jennifer Jason Leigh's character was definitely... I wanted a little bit more of her too. I mean, the scene she was in, there was a presence she had, and the way the movie kind of ends, where she's laying in the bed across her, was kind of cool. But for me, I'll be honest, it's a good premise, has good action, good kills. The lulls kind of. This is like basically my version of, well, you guys' version of you telling me to watch what's that? The movie we watched that this girl wasn't even in it. Oh my God, I'm going to blank. You're Not Alone.
I'm keeping this in there, by the way.
Nah, this was like me watching because of the lulls. Because of the lulls. Because you had those moments of greatness, then you had the lulls that for me took away from the film to the point where, and I'm not much. For me, usually if I'm watching a movie, 5 minutes. That's my goal. If 5 minutes I don't pick up my phone, I'm going to watch it. Now, I didn't pick up my phone in 5 minutes, but I did find myself picking up the phone when I hit those lulls, and then I waited till things started picking up. So for me, I'm going to give this one a 3.5.
Joe. Oh, he's taking a sip. He's going to go in right now. Holy shit.
He's going to go 5.
Gerder, Jennifer Jason Leigh, is the bad guy in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not paying attention to this,
she was the original assassin. She retired. She got old.
when you had the scene with the son, Gerder took possession of the son, which is what stabbed. So right before stabbing into him is when Tasia had exited. So it was actually Colin, after he realized he got stabbed in the neck, that shot.
So Colin killed the son. I'm sorry. No. Listen, real quick. Voss kills the husband.
No, Colin did. Colin's in charge. Okay.
Are you sure?
So yes. Mm-hmm. So in the scene where there's a scene where
I'm sorry, but before you get into that, I need to get this off so that I'll give you all the time you want.
All right.
Like that, you could bounce off of me.
It's gonna be about the face mask.
No. When Colin kills the husband, Colin starts saying, "Pull me out," right? And he puts the gun. He tries to kill himself again. He can't. To me, that's saying Voss is in control. Okay. That's why I said that.
Colin was in control at that point.
Yes.
And they were still both fighting in there for it.
Yeah.
So when Colin killed the husband, it wasn't Tasia. And when Tasha took control again of the body, that's when Girder took control of the son and stabbed him in the neck. Tasha had gotten out of the body. That was Colin's reaction to fucking just getting stabbed in the neck to turn around and just shoot. And he, because if you looked, his reaction to realize that he just shot a child, he was in shock. Like that whole ending scene.
It's very subtle. I like that.
5 times to watch this to realize that Girder manipulated the whole entire situation.
Yep. And she got what she wanted at the end.
To get Tasha to eliminate all of the emotional connection she had, therefore making her the effective killer for what this program is.
Aside from the confusion with who did what, that's what I took out of it, because
it's literally in those moments because they're all in and out, like in and out of consciousness. But Girder was aware the whole entire fucking time. If I'm wrong on this, I'm hoping, hey, Brandon, if you watch this episode by chance, tell us.
What's your score, brother?
I'm a 4.5 on this.
Okay. At the end of the film, when Tasha and Girder are once again getting interrogated, because the first time when they got to the butterfly, Voss says, Tasha, she says, I killed this butterfly. I said moth. I meant butterfly. I killed this butterfly. I framed it. I felt bad for doing it. That's at the beginning.
The first
after, huh?
Right, the first time.
First time. So after everything happens, her family's gone now. She goes through the same process. Oh yeah, it's a butterfly. I killed it. I framed it.
And you're missing that she felt bad.
Yes, and that's when Girder was like.
And Girder eliminated the emotional attachment.
Yes,
therefore making the perfect killer.
Yeah, dude,
I have eliminated your emotional attachment.
And that's when the movie clicked for me. Like, My score is a 4. My score is a 4. Right. That's what I'm gonna give it. I love this film. I give it a 4. There's no real faults in it, but like I gotta agree with Giardo. There's lulls in it, but they're not bad lulls, because if you watch it again, during those lulls, you get so much information. But for the average viewer, like they're not gonna watch it like us, like multiple times to dissect it. So they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, what's going on?"
I agree with you guys on what you guys are saying.
Ricky Grimes, my boy JR, Joe the Psychologist. Thank you for watching. Come back next week for more 3 Corners of Horror. Support horror, support Horror Fiend TV, but most of all, stay scared.